As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter
These
how
guys aren't
bad
French.
things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling,
That's not very nice.
I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not
Okay.
allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiney.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiney? You'd take good
Okay, he's
care
one
of the
picnic basket
rascals,
short of
I'll
a
bet you
set.
would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never ever play with matches.
I
Oh
know
god,
that,
this
but-
guy's infuriating.
People get hurt when they do. They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Would Mr. Shiney be your polishing machine by any chance?
Friend and a
Please, don't
Jesus.
call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiney for 3 years, and he's never
I'm
let
gonna
me
unplug this
down
chain now.
once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiney.
Yes.
It's just that
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiney his weekly pull through.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
I'm going to unplug that so I can go in there.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine. The connector in the socket
Maybe
supplied
won't let me do that
electricity
right
to
now.
the polishing machine.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for
Okay,
the
so I need to
contents
come
of
back
that
in a bit then.
cupboard.
Go in here first. And there's the lady that everyone hates.
Oui, monsieur.
Is this Ward J2?
It is, but you're not supposed to be here. We have strict rules about visiting hours.
Can't you make an exception? I've come all the way from California.
You must speak to the doctor.
I can't wait that long. What if he snuffs it?
You can't talk like that here. This is a hospital. You will have to leave.
Okay, so now I'll be able to pull it out and then I'll be going to the cupboard.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket,
And
the
died.
polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiney, what's wrong, pal?
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, looks like a doctor. There we go.
Hello.
Oh, hi. No whistling, right?
Right. What's the problem with Nurse Grendel?
She's
Oh,
uptight
look
and
out.
twisted on account of a broken heart.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought she was just plain bad-tempered.
That also. By the way, sir, I wouldn't stand too close to Mr. Shiney's grease valve. If he has an emission, it'll take the shine clean off your shoes. Say, nice
Tell me a bit more about
sneakers.
Mr.
Thanks. Are you having trouble with Mr. Shiney?
Yes, I am. I don't know what's got into him today.
Aye,
He
so he
keeps
does.
pulling his plug.
See you later.
Yeah, take
Well,
care
let me
now.
play it again. Damn.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the...
Good afternoon, Doctor. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He
Okay.
has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know
Okay,
is
tell
that
me more.
Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
No, you're right.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
What is this device?
It's for taking the
You should know
patient's
that.
blood pressure, Doctor.
Do you recognize the man in this
More of
photograph?
this.
No, I don't.
Does this mean anything to you?
And just for
Club
luck.
Alamour? I've never heard of it.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well,
No, it's okay. Forget it.
You want to talk to
Thank
patient
you,
in bed
nurse.
3.
au revoir, monsieur.
It's 1, 2, and 3.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Nope.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it. What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum
Tell me
cleaner.
more.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got
And
to
what can you
have
tell me
discipline
about-
in a place like this.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer. Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
I'll come back later.
Contact the other patients. If I can hopefully go down this way. Yes.
Doctor!
What is it?
You haven't taken my
Just
blood
did.
pressure.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, Doctor.
What now?
You
Okay, so I'm gonna have to
didn't
get.
finish taking my
I'm gonna have to
blood
get the
pressure.
nurse involved to help me take the blood pressure.
Okay, let's try again.
Nope, didn't work.
You don't have the...
I'll come back when you've recovered. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you want this,
Device for measuring blood pressure?
yeah, do you want it back?
No, thank you.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well,
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, nurse.
au
I
revoir,
want to
monsieur.
talk to you.
Hi, it's me again. That is not a good idea.
Okay, I'm a doctor. How
come
do I
back
get
later.
through the ward? How do I get through the ward? Hint 1. Head back to the hospital entrance. Speak to the older doctor. Right, okay. Who is that? Who are you?
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir? Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny.
Okay.
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
And no, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with the
You seen
nurse.
this guy?
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Okay, what about
No,
this?
monsieur. I've never seen him before.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. See you
Okay.
later.
Right.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew.
Yeah, sure.
Can I trust you to look after him? He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes
Okay.
to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let
Okay,
him see
let's go.
some real
We can go now.
suffering.
There we go. No, what I want to do.
Hi, it's me again.
Get you.
I'll come back later. Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Voilà. Suppose I have to talk to you first. Okay.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc. Right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was
Anthrax,
you.
yeah, right.
He had anthrax.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Have you seen any suspicious
Yeah, I have.
a gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Yeah.
Is that
it
against
is.
the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I have never seen him before.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, it sounds Middle Eastern.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, doc.
Wow, you're pretty beat up, mate.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassins.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place.
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod
Yeah, I know what a tripod is.
right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to
So we need to go
Syria
Syria.
on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Oh dear. Back in Nicole's apartment.
Hello, Georges.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Yeah.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it
Yeah, some
Khan?
guy with a
No,
dodgy
I don't know
moustache.
who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
I have.
Have you ever heard of the Hashiashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't
True.
have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. That is not a good idea. Let's take another look at the manuscript. A knight
Okay,
through
that's not
my...
helping at all.
There's there's a guy between... I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, were you
Haha.
referring to Andre?
I'll let you work it out.
Let's save it there. I can't. Well, let's go to the museum. Let's save the game there. Game save successful.